I'm going to pause recording now.
It's
Okay. I'm starting the note taking too. Good morning, afternoon, dear. Um,
Good morning,
this
Mr.
is
Dunn.
John Dunn, Sheila Dunn's kid. And so we're going to do some history conversations on Zoom. Well, we're not sponsored by Zoom, so we're not going to mention them anymore until they sponsor us for this event. But all I want to do today is start asking Grandma Sheila, Mom Sheila, about her life. So, can you introduce yourself to us today, Mrs. Dunn?
Sure. My name is Sheila Faye Bradley Dunn. I was
Great.
born in Spokane, Washington, November 3rd, 1939, to Albert Eugene Bradley and Clover Faye Reagan.
Right on.
And
What do you remember from that day?
I don't remember anything until I know my cousin was born shortly the same year. Oh no, she was born early in 40. And so we stayed up there in Priest River, Idaho. Uh, and my father was still in the CCCs, I think. And but he may have been out and working in a mink farm.
A
And
mink farm.
yes, they raised mink up there. And he also drove truck to help build that Hoover Dam, or no, the big dam in Washington.
In Washington and Idaho. So, who was the cousin that was born close to you?
Um, Patricia McIntosh, Pat.
Trisha McIntosh. How is she related? Through
Her
what?
mother is Evelyn, who is Clover's sister,
Your aunt.
younger
Got
sister. So they were
Okay.
the Reagan girls, only two girls the Reagans had.
Okay. So, how close is Priest River to Coeur d'Alene?
To Spokane, you mean?
Well, I thought you lived in Coeur d'Alene too. So,
Oh, no, it's
aren't
just
you?
really close to Coeur d'Alene.
Okay.
They, I don't think I ever lived in Coeur d'Alene. I think we lived in Priest River when I was born. I have a picture of us on the front steps, and I think my grandfather was a barman in a bar, and we lived with them, grandma and grandpa, in their apartment. And I don't remember any of it. These are just stories I heard. And, my folks didn't have any money. And let's see, oh, my mom said she put me in a dresser drawer, which a lot of people did in those days, their babies. And they didn't have beds and buggies and all that right then.
It's okay.
But
So
everybody,
November in Idaho, northern Idaho might have been cold. So,
yeah,
but from what I remember, so they lived above the bar in an apartment, I think, or
something like that. Yeah, they lived in an
okay,
old boarding house or above the bar. It was
okay,
a, it was an old uh, Priest River is by a mill and in the river, so it was a logging area.
okay. What
So
what do you know about how the two of them met?
I don't know how they met, but I bet they
Oh,
met in a bar
I'm
because they were
guessing.
both big drinkers. But but I don't know anything about Sidney Reagan's family, uh,
Okay.
except I think some cousins. I
I
never
mean,
knew his
well, I
sister.
meant how did my grandparents meet? Clover and Albert Eugene.
I can't hear you very well. Talk louder.
How did Grandpa and Grandma meet? My grandparents, not your
They met
grandparents.
at a dance in a bar. No, they used to have dance halls, and his CC camp was on Priest Lake, Idaho. And I've been there to the lake and to the hall and
Oh,
around the lake area. And everybody in those days would go on Saturday nights to the dance hall. So there'd be a band and there'd be booze, and that's how they met people. And so the guys in the CC camp, of course, were like GIs, and they came over and met all the girls in the neighborhood. In fact, my mother, would drive with her friends in a car. I don't know if she drove because she never drove that I know of, from Priest River, the town, out to the lake in the snow in an old, 1935 car, probably.
Or older, maybe.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
when did they get married?
They got married in 38, a year
Okay.
in November 11th,
Whew,
1938.
thank
Yeah.
goodness. Just
And
in time.
just a year after they were married, I was born.
Okay. How long did you guys stay in Idaho?
Well, they've told me 2 years after I was
Okay.
born. And that would have been 40 and 41. And the war was starting, or preparation for war. And the war was going on in Europe. And in California, they were hiring on the shipyards and the docks. And they were building, Kaiser was building ships. So they had jobs down there that were paying good money, evidently, they told everybody. So a lot of young people left where they were and were recruited, I remember, from the South, because they were in bad shape down there
Yeah.
economically, to come to California. And that's how we got our integration with lots of different people all over the states. And
So
so
did
they
you
all came
move
to Oakland, Berkeley, Richmond, that area, and worked in shipyards.
which city did you all move to
We
first?
went to Berkeley,
Okay.
and Berkeley wasn't high class then. It was a lot of the old family homes that were big were turned into apartments for uh, the workers.
Okay.
And then Kaiser built places for some of their workers to live, actually. And
Okay.
there were streetcars. Nobody had a car, and people went to work.
Well, I've actually seen some old film footage of Berkeley with all the streetcars
Hmm.
also, with
I
people going to
remember
work
riding the
during the war.
streetcars. So I remember a little bit about being 3, 4, 5 there. And we lived in an apartment house with and there was another couple that we became fast friends with, and they had a son and later another son.
Oh,
And the
cool.
one son and I got into trouble together. I remember once.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, we uh, we played outside in the backyard, and nobody paid any attention to us. You know how things were in those days. And there was a double fence. One fence for this yard and one fence for this yard, but there was space in between. And we used to go back there and fool around, play, and we were probably 5.
Were
Uh,
you in kindergarten already?
I was, yeah. That's another good story. But anyway, we started a fire between that fence one
Oh,
time and did
I think
we get in
I
big
think my
time.
brother and I did that too, didn't we?
Did we? Did you?
I
Where?
believe we did at Newbury.
I don't remember that.
You walked us down to the fire station and we got a stern talking to.
Oh God.
So there you go. It was your fault, really. Well, I've always liked this picture of your dad. I'm going to share my screen because it's not grandma, but it's kind of fun to see. So let's see if this let me go like this. I don't know how this works. There. Who's that nice lady?
I don't know.
We don't know, but you and your sister told me that may have been somebody he was hanging out with before grandma. So he looks pretty young there,
Oh, he is.
out there somewhere. So anyway, that's a fun one. I like seeing that.
Yeah, there's a picture I have that shows them standing with me dressed very nicely with a baby in their arms on the steps of someplace.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm gonna unshare that one for a second.
And
And
that's not
then,
her girlfriend that I remember. Madge. It's not Madge.
okay. Um, well, what stories do you have of them in Idaho before you arrived of any kind? I mean, like tell me about grandpa's time in Idaho that you remember. It's
Well,
just the
he
conservation corps, right?
they basically uh, she I think she went my mother went to a typing school or some kind of an office class at school, like Delta College say, but for business stuff. And so she must have had a job in an office or something. I don't know much about that. And he went to work every day, and then they just drank. Everybody was in their social life was in dance halls and bars. And because
Okay.
my grandfather was the barkeep there, that's where they hung out. I don't
Did
remember
you
them doing any other kinds of activities.
did you get to meet that grandfather much?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that was Sydney
Sidney Reagan.
Reagan,
How do we
and
spell that?
yeah, they lived. Well, we lived with them,
Yeah.
and then the sister Evelyn lived very close by. I think she lived in Priest River for a while with her daughter Pat, and then she had another son, Michael, and my mom and dad had David, but they didn't have him until they moved to California,
Yeah.
Berkeley. But
I think this picture here is the one that I saw the other day. Is this your grandfather?
yep, that's my
That's
grandfather,
Sydney.
my grandmother, Amy. She was called Babe,
The
and
short one?
and the other one is Evelyn in green. She's the sister, my mom's sister.
So I asked you this the other day. He seems like a pretty tall dude. What happened to me?
Got me. Evelyn was tall too. You got the female genes.
Yeah. Pat got the big guy genes.
Yeah, he was big,
Yeah.
and she was very tiny. And she grew up in the country with horses.
Uh-huh.
She knew how to ride horses. She had horses, and her daughter Evelyn liked the horses and liked being outdoors and doing things like that. And Clover didn't. My mom, she was more a homebody type, or not get your hands dirty type. Like she didn't like to ride the horses and everything. And so my mom always felt like she liked Evelyn better than her.
Did
And
Evelyn stay up in Idaho or did she
yeah,
move to?
she never moved to any place except Spokane. Yeah, she stayed in
Okay.
Spokane. I'm pretty sure till she died.
Did your grandfather stay there too, Sydney?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And when his wife Amy, her last name maiden name was Limley or Lemley. I thought it was Lemley, but
Lemley, I think. Yeah. Lemly.
one of these things that was written about her on the back of a picture I have, it says Limey, so I don't know what that means.
Hmm.
Anyway, when after she died, he married another woman that he met in Spokane, someplace, and lived with her for quite a long time, maybe 20 years before she died and he died. They both died very old. So,
Really?
and he came
Did
to
you guys
California a lot to
they
visit.
did? Okay.
And she came with my grandmother often. They must have driven or taken the train. So I can remember them staying with us on the Garden Avenue address when I was older. And
Did
Kathy, he
after
was a
Kathy was
great
born?
big teddy bear, and he called me Sheedy. That was his nickname for me, Sheedy. And his voice was big, and grave. And she was this little quiet thing, and she never said a word, and she didn't smile very much. She didn't seem to be very happy. And my mother, my mother and my cousin Pat, they didn't like her very much. Really, she wasn't friendly. She wasn't helpful. She was uh,
Huh.
not nice. But
Where did cousin Pat come from?
she was born in Spokane.
But
She's now in right up Maple Valley,
so
Washington.
she's your age.
Yes, she's Pat and Pete. You know Pat and Pete
Uh-huh.
from
Maybe.
visiting us in California, and they were in the accident with us up at
Oh.
Angels Camp.
Oh,
That was
okay.
that was Pat McIntosh and Pete, her husband. That's
All right.
not
I didn't
McIntosh
stick
now.
around that long other than picking
Well,
you guys up at the hospital and
you
taking you
did.
back to
You
the
came over, the whole day and almost the whole night, and yeah. But you've seen them before, I think
Okay.
here. But anyway, yeah, they came down to California a lot.
Did you drive up to Idaho much?
Yes, we would alternate going to Idaho or Spokane and Arkansas when my dad had vacation. If it was summertime, when kids
Yeah.
were off school.
Well, that was making me think too about the Arkansas trip we all took.
Oh yeah,
Did you go back to Arkansas much?
a lot. Well, I don't remember how often, but probably 4 times in my lifetime or more. And Kathy did too. And David went with us. We'd drive from Concord in the summer down to Bakersfield and turn left and go east in the hot heat. 66, Highway 66, all the
Route
way across and then
66.
go up to Arkansas.
So I've got another fun one I found recently. Tell me about this picture.
That is, uh,
It's your dad.
yeah, it must be my dad. And I don't know who that boy is.
That's James, probably.
Was James that much younger?
Well, when we were
Okay, so
talking
it's
about this,
the
he's not
baby is
that much
Betty,
younger, but
the girl must be Marveline, and the boy is James.
yeah. And then Betty's the little one.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Because probably right before James started growing, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
could be.
But
Oh
that's
God.
so, yeah, I know. Does that, I imagine that's got to be in Arkansas. So,
Oh yeah.
because Betty's mom passed away at birth, right?
Right.
So all of their moms passed away when Betty was born.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. Oh, and then back to the Reagan side, they had a child named Jean who died as a young child. There's a picture I found of Clover holding Jean and um, Evelyn standing by her. I thought she died as a real infant, but she was about this age as this child, Betty, in
oh,
her arms.
okay.
So that's why Kathy was named Kathleen Jean after her sister who died.
Oh,
So
okay.
Amy and Sid had 3 girls. Yeah.
Because it looks like Betty's not even a year old there, huh?
Right. Right.
Okay.
Well, she may be walking. She might be 12 months or older. Oh my goodness.
That's a good picture.
Uh-huh.
I tell people that my grandfather probably really rode a horse to school.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Or
sure.
he walked 10 miles to school. I'm
Well,
sure
when
they had horse-drawn carts if they had a bunch of kids.
the local bus,
Yeah.
because that was in. So did he? He was in Lamar, Arkansas, because we all stayed in Clarksburg, right?
Uh-huh.
Clarksville, Clarksville. I don't know.
Clark, Clark, I don't
Clarksville, I
know.
think. But Lamar was that little town down the street. So,
Uh-huh.
okay. And then he just stayed there till out of high school.
Right. And then he went to Idaho.
Joined the Civilian Conservation Corps. Okay. what did Jim do? He stuck around for James,
He well
Jim
he finished high school there and then joined the Air Force, or it was called the Army Air Force
was the
then.
Army Air
It was
Force,
the
yeah.
Army, and but he was on a plane, and he was in the war, and he
Okay.
came to visit us in Berkeley. I do remember that because I just fell in love with him. He, I must have been 3 or 4 by the time he was in the war, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was so cute and handsome and wear his uniform, and then we'd dance. Well, that's what my mama did all the dad did a lot. They danced, they went to dances. And then we danced in the apartment and he'd put me on his shoes, and I can remember
Yeah.
it's with him. And so we all have always had a good time when he came into Berkeley or Oakland.
Was he stationed in the Pacific or
I don't know where he was stationed, but he was a gunner or he was one of those real hard jobs
yeah,
back in the,
dangerous jobs?
yeah, I remember them talking about that. And or he was somebody who worked inside the bottom part of the plane. He wasn't a pilot.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so
So he did
he
that.
he made it through and never got injured.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So
And then he
um
went home to at that time then his dad, uh Neely, had, I think had moved to California and had a farm or was leasing a farm. I don't know if he owned the property or not, but he was farming in Turlock Ceres area.
okay.
And so then James would go to see him also on his furloughs, and that's how he met Val,
Okay.
because Val's family were farmers there also, and they're Italian.
Or Swiss Italian.
Yeah, they're northern Italy, but they call themselves Swiss Italian.
Okay. So Neely's your grandfather on that side.
Cornelius,
Cornelius Bradley.
was he the Christopher Columbus one, or was Sidney Christopher Columbus Reagan?
I can't remember. I need to go look that back up
And
again.
Cornelius something
It
Reagan.
was it was somebody older than Cornelius, maybe there was that. But did Cornelius remarry after his wife died? After
Yes,
Grandpa's mom?
yes, and she was with him in California. And
Okay.
Kathy and I and Betty were trying to remember her name, and we couldn't remember it, and now I've forgotten it again.
I
Because Betty
probably have
called
it
us.
somewhere.
I
Let's see.
want to say Edna,
But
but it wasn't Edna or
but
Ethel.
then James stuck around, met Val, and that's how they stayed there. Because
Yeah.
Val was taller than him, right?
Well, they might
She
have been the same, but
seemed like a big lady to me.
she's tall. Yeah, she was tall.
Big personality for sure.
Oh yeah.
Um, Here's another picture of that group with a different person in it. Maybe I don't know who's that lady?
Okay. Yeah, that's James
Was
Marveline.
that the stepmom maybe or
That's probably that could. No, she's too young. I don't know who that is.
okay? This is where James has grown a little bit finally. So,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it still looks like it's in Arkansas
Yeah,
somewhere. Um, okay, all right. I'm trying to find my stuff here. There we go.
that could be
Um,
Marveline and Betty, and then another cousin or something.
yeah, it might have been. I don't know. We're gonna get Kathy to look at these too, and we're gonna talk to her too. So,
Okay.
well, um, when you all got to, when did you move? You moved to Concord in first, second, third grade.
No. First grade. Yeah, first grade. because I
So
went to
all that
kindergarten
time
in Berkeley.
you were in Berkeley and dad was in Albany, not very far away. Or in Oakland, maybe. He said he that's right. He went to elementary school in
Oh,
Oakland, huh?
oh yeah. His dad was working at on the shipyards too. He was a
Machinist.
machinist, and they lived
See that
in.
this is that apprenticeship completion certificate that we
Oh,
found,
oh yeah,
thankfully.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's funny
oh,
they didn't they didn't work at the same place. My dad was at Moore's Dry Dock, and I don't know where Jack's dad was.
so did you call him Mick or did you call him George?
I called him Mick. I
Okay.
don't know if I ever called him anything to tell you the truth,
We'll
but
get to that in a later episode.
yeah,
Of,
okay. And Jack was born in Albany, but I guess they lived there in the part of some of the family lived there for a while, but then they moved over to south part of the bay to Hayward and San Leandro down on the flats.
okay, down that way.
Yeah. Then
Yeah,
they
'cause
moved to Cowell later.
yeah, I
But
don't have
in
any.
Concord, I went to first grade on. It
What school was it?
was called Williams School, but I think before Williams School was built, I might have taken the bus over to Concord Elementary. Yeah.
The two schools in Concord at the time, probably.
Yeah. And and
Did
when
you move to the Garden Avenue right away or a different place?
no, we lived on Almond Avenue down the hill right off Port Chicago Highway, uh, in the older part of town. The houses there were old and really nice, different. The house we
Hmm.
lived in was like Roth's house over here in on Avena. It was
Oh,
a
okay.
Spanish style with a tile roof and arches, and I loved that house.
Nice.
It was really huge too, and Bill Sabatka's grandparents lived behind us on another street too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we so well his parents lived with him there too part of the time. And let's see, first we lived in Mountain View Drive down the hill from Garden Avenue. Those were the first post-war houses built over there.
Okay.
And yeah, that's when I went to Williams. So we must have moved there after Almond Avenue. And
Okay. Because
then we
I,
moved up the hill. I think the hill up the hill, Garden Avenue, I think was the first house they bought. I think they were renting everything else.
yeah, the paperwork I found from you or Kathy recently, it looked like they were leasing it and then they bought it.
Oh,
Yeah. But it was like a new build or close to a new build.
yeah,
Yeah.
those were all, you know, post-war builds. Uh, yep. So
And then David shows up. He was 3 years younger than you.
he was born in Berkeley,
Okay.
so we didn't move till after he was born, so that makes it be four or five when we
Yeah.
moved.
How was
I
it having a
remember,
little brother?
you know what? I was thinking about that today, looking at somebody and I with a baby and a little toddler, and I thought, I don't remember him as a baby infant. I remember my mom pushing a buggy in Berkeley and seeing her whole. I don't remember what him except. Then I look at pictures, and we used to go to uh, Lake Merritt
Mhm.
and play on weekends, and my dad always liked to do that kind of thing. We were there playing with baby and me.
Did you have a car or did you take the
Oh,
train
we
or?
must have had a car. I think we had a car.
Okay.
He was always dressed really, really nicely, and but they put on their slacks and their nice dresses and their heels and stuff like that when they went to someplace on a Sunday. They didn't wear their jeans and t-shirts like we do.
Was this after you went to church or?
Yeah, right. Uh-huh. No, but actually, I went to church with, let's see, okay, Uncle Bob, Robert, was one of these brothers.
Go ahead and pick it up higher, a little higher. Oh, okay. I remember that
Okay,
picture.
Bob's the one over here at the end.
Okay.
He was one of, the seven brothers, two, four, six brothers.
Hmm.
And he lived in Oakland with his wife. Uh, Ethel, not Ethel. Ethel was George's sister. Myrtle
Okay.
Bradley. Bob and Myrtle Bradley. And they had no children. They never had children. So they adopted David and me as their, and
Were
Kathy.
they, was that, were they Cornelius's, is that his brother?
Yeah,
Oh, so that
he
many
was Neely's
brothers.
brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
There were that many brothers that were
And
grandpa's
they
uncles.
other ones moved to California too, some of these. And to Lodi. That's why we had so many at the family reunions, so many cousins.
Well, yeah, that seemed like a pretty big party when I was little. So,
Yeah. So Marveline lived in Vallejo at the time. James lived in uh well, he soon
hmm.
lived in Turlock, and then Dad lived in Berkeley, and Bob, his uncle, lived in Berkeley. And
And
they
then what?
were big in the big churches, the big what do you call it? Churches that have great big auditoriums.
Oh,
And
okay.
I would go and stay overnight with them sometimes on Saturday in their apartment or wherever they lived. And then they would take me to church in this great big church. It was lots of hallelujahs and lots of singing, and it was an experience.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Did they get into that after they left Arkansas, or was that kind of part of that side of the family's life?
I kind of think it was Myrtle's side that got it, and I don't know where she came from at all. I don't know anything about her background,
Okay.
but
All right. I've got another. I can't remember who this is. Here's a picture for you.
that's I want to say Betty.
It is Betty. Okay. I kind of thought it was, but so did she stick around? She had to stick around I mean, she was born in 32 ish, 30, you know?
But when was
When was Betty born? Because Grandpa looked to be 14, so that would have been 1928. That one picture where she was little.
uh she? I don't know.
Okay. But she's not around anymore, yeah?
No, but we met her when we went to Arkansas that time. We drove up to Missouri to her,
That's who we met.
yeah,
Okay.
her husband, and she lived up in Missouri, and he was a Sparks, uh, Roland, Roland Sparks.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
remember the
and
name.
yeah, we drove up there and lived by them, and we couldn't believe that. Remember, we were by that great big lake. It was called Grand Lake.
Yeah.
It's right in the corner of Missouri and Arkansas and Ohio
Oklahoma.
or wherever. And um, and there was tornado warnings while we were there.
Hmm.
And we
Yeah.
wondered why in the world. We even asked Betty and Roland, why don't people build tornado shelters anymore? We used to have a
A
cellar
seller.
outside and cover it up and get in there when it was tornado warnings. And she said, oh, they never bother us that much anymore. And their houses they didn't have basements.
Wow.
They were newer houses, and they just had slabs. And so they had no place to go. Their houses would just blow away. But we could believe it. We were scared when we were in that nice lake uh, hotel, motel
Yeah.
on the lake, and we could look at the sky and go, "Oh my gosh!" And Patrick went out there on that long pier and took pictures. We kept saying, "Get back in here."
Yeah, here comes the lightning. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, they weren't worried about it. Which they I don't know. It's worse, so much worse now, maybe than it was. But boy, it's really bad.
Yeah, it doesn't seem I'd still want to have a hole in the ground to go hide in.
Yeah, of course, we grew up with the Wizard of Oz, so
Well, yeah. And earthquakes, but well,
uh,
cool.
and
All right.
and uh, and I remember being in Arkansas and opening up the cellar thing that they had and going down in there. In fact, the house we had on in Concord on Almond Drive had one of those cellars and tilted cellar door and steps that go down. There was a basement there.
Oh, wow. Because
Oh
the
yeah,
Garden Avenue one had that, but that was just to get into the underneath the house. That's all.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. My dear, you're done with your first session today.
Visit.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to do this every week till we run out of things to talk about, which won't take, yeah, we'll have plenty of things to talk about.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, yes.
and think about things that you want to tell. I asked my two children what do they want to know from you, and they were stumped for a minute. So they'll come up with something.
Oh, look what I saw as I was just going upstairs to get some things. Here's a cute picture.
Yeah, I know.
Have
Hold
you
up
seen that one?
a little higher, real quick. There we see. So we see Kathy. Those are big ears on David.
He had big
Yeah.
ears. They stuck out.
Yeah, you were like 13 or 14 there, huh?
And I was in 1956. I was in the newspaper. I just found that.
Look at you. Teens of our town. What good thing did you do that day compared to your children?
I was a Sunday school teacher, an enthusiastic Girl Scout, a worthy advisor in the Order of Rainbow, an entertainer, tap dancing, and leader in school activities.
How about that?
Sheila, just 16, is the oldest child of Mr. and Mrs. Albert Jane Bradley, blah, 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 and has a brother David, 12 years old, and a sister Kathy, who Sheila boasts is quite a dancer at just 4 years of age.
Make sure you tell her that.
Yeah, she didn't take classes though, I know. Anyway, it tells me all about me.
There you go. Very,
Yep.
very impressive. Good work. All right, we're gonna
Okay,
shut this
thank you very
down.
much. It was
I'm
nice
not.
meeting with you, Mr. Dunn.
We'll get a better background for me later, but this guy's kind of weird, but that's okay.
Yeah,
It's original art. So,
I can see, I saw it. It's great.
all right, I'm turning off the recording.
Oh, right
There.
behind your head, is that from
That's Jim's
David?
or David's mole.
Uh-huh, good.
So I don't know if you had it or Kathy had it, but you didn't want it. So I
Right.
stuck it up there. So, all
Okay,
right, that was fun. We got
yeah, it
it
was.
working. Um, I will fix your Zoom. I thought I fixed it, but I have now that see how you can punch in the code and that will get you into the Zoom also if you say
Okay,
join.
I'll try that. We're resuming. No, not till next month. We did it earlier this month
Yeah,
with Toby and I almost said Dave, Bill Sabatka, and
got it.
Toby Montgomery.
Okay. Um, and if not I'll host it again or something. But we'll teach you guys how to do it right. So,
Okay,
all
whatever.
right, I'm gonna go back to work now.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes.
I am
What do
going
you
to
got
have
going?
lunch. Have you had
Okay,
lunch?
I have. I had a burrito
Okay.
doing the cleanse. All right. I
Um,
will catch you later. Love you,
talk
dear.
to you later. Thank you. Love you.
Bye.